great to be here on this mid-year congress in my hometown, and it's so nice to be talking to you, David, and so nice to see you again.
Hi Nicole, well I'm actually in London at the moment, and this is what we've been doing for the last 18 months, doing things virtually, so I can't wait to get back in the room with you all. I hope you'll find this really interesting today, because I think me and Nicole are talking about things that really matter to us and also things that really matter to you guys. So I can't wait to be sat in front of you all, but for now I really hope you enjoy this talk. It's going to be really enjoyable.
I think for me, when I was starting off playing squash, I was lucky enough to be in the national team at a young age. So when I was 11, 12 years old, I had a support team from the Malaysian Sports Council that was giving us like a sports psychologist to work with, and he gathered all the national team together, and we had a training camp, and he asked all of us this question that, what do you want to do with your squash and what is your goal? And at an 11-year-old kid like me, I just said that I wanted to be world champion, and that was it. That was the first thing that came to my mind. And he said, so how does a world champion walk into the squash court? So I did my strut, like walked in and act all world champion-y. And because I saw a world champion squash player, Sarah Fitzgerald, at the time she was #1 in the world, and that's how she stood, how she was poised, and I wanted to be just like her. So that was my goal and what I was dreaming to be, and it started from there, the dream to become world #1 and world champion. And it had to come with visualization, having a goal, and that's how we learn to aspire to be better, with mental training to prepare ourselves for what's to come.
I think that's so important for top athletes like yourself. I think it's so important at a very young age, that you have your goals. You knew that you wanted to be world champion. Nobody knew if you was going to be world champion, but you knew, and that's the most important thing. When I was young, and someone turned around to me and said, "What would you like to do when you're a grown-up? What's your job going to be?" And mine was a professional footballer. I want to play for Manchester United, and I want to play for England. That was my dream. I was lucky. I had, parents that supported me, that took me to training sessions, that took me to the games, and that talked about football all the time with me. But it would have been very easy for me to, because most kids are not that dedicated enough to sit there, to watch games, to learn, to go to bed early, to eat the right things, to drink the right things. And all of these things are so important. So it's so important to have goals in life. And my goal was to play for Manchester United and to play for my country. And I was lucky enough that I was able to do that.
Yeah, it was so important for me to have that, like you said, your family really taking you to the squash lessons, to competitions, and to see you through all those phases, because it's not every kid's position to have that support around all the time, because it's either you have to do one or the other, whether you study or play sport. And my parents were very open to the fact that sport actually helped me in my studies, and I was a better student through sport, and it gave me more discipline, more time management, and dedication to my studies. And that's why they let me play sport. And also my dad was a former footballer for Malaysia. He was a goalkeeper for Malaysia and a sports person himself, so that's where I got that competitive edge from him, and also the sports genes. So he knew that sport was so important to his life, and he knew that if he gave my sisters, I have 2 older sisters, and the chance to play sport, we can really develop and grow as better people, and also through our studying, we will be better as well. But when I wanted to become a professional squash player, they just gave me their blessings, and they said, you know what, go for it and fulfill your dreams. And I had the support from the Malaysian government. I had some of my sponsors coming in to really give me that chance to pursue my dream. And I took the chance, so here I am.
it's an amazing story, and also to have the support of your parents is such a big part of, you know, your success. How was your father when he was watching you? Was he competitive? Was he shouting?
Well, he's always nervous. Both my parents will be like outside in the stands, just really like shaking. He's a footballer, so his legs keep going like fidgeting in his seat, so he can't sit still. And but no, they are truly like right by my side. Even when I was away, I had to leave to Amsterdam to train when I was 18 years old with my coach Liz, and they let me go. Being an 18-year-old, you don't get that very often, that your parents let you go to a foreign country and on your own, and it's like, okay, do what you want to do, And so that was really big for them, because in Malaysia it's so important to have like your degree. You need to have your studies, because that will secure your future. But my parents knew that that's what I wanted to do. And kids, when they play sport, that dedication is not easy to come around, or that hard work to do, be disciplined. But when you want to be a professional athlete, it takes another level of commitment to go.
They must be very proud. The purpose is a huge part of success, and working hard. You have to have purpose to get up in the morning, to go to the office, to go to the training ground, and there has to be a huge part of that, and a huge part of the drive. I think that's the important part of this. There was not one morning when I woke up and I didn't want to go to training, and there's not one moment where I wake up now, I've retired, and don't want to go to the office, and don't want to see the team, and don't want to find out what's going on. So there's a real sense of purpose that has to be in there, and is in there, and that really shines through.
Yeah, I agree. From sport, like you said, I never once felt that when I woke up in the morning, I didn't have a sense of purpose when I was going to training, and it didn't feel like it was a dread or something that you are sacrificing. It's just because you have an end goal, you have something to work towards, to improve yourself, to get better, to see how far you can push yourself, and that's the purpose that you want to go towards, like seeing the potential that lies ahead inside you, and that you can just make it happen for yourself. And that was the purpose that was driving me to my training. And now after retirement, my purpose to really do something for people, for kids, to use sport and education to really take them to that next level of what I can offer through that. And that makes me wake up in the morning thinking that I can give that back to these kids that want something more. And through my Nicol David organization, it's going to be extracurricular activity for mid to low income families that want to play squash, have English lessons, and also life skills. So these three things that I know that squash has given me all these values, and I know that if they take on squash and they have English as a gateway of opportunity to do something more for their life in future, I feel that this holistic growth for them in the organization will help them in their own way. That's my true purpose now, to move forward and help these kids.
One of the things that has been most important for me, obviously since I finished playing and also towards the end of my career, is how can I give back? How can I give back to a sport that has given me so much over the years, on and off the pitch. And one of the things that I'm really excited about, that has been going for quite a few years now, is the academy that we have for children of the ages from 12 years to 23 years in Miami. And what excites me about that is the fact that we're giving these kids the opportunity to play in a safe place, to learn from great coaches, and also have the opportunity to go on and have a great career in the sport. Some of these kids are coming from different places around Miami and South Florida, and they're given the opportunity to play a game that they love, and also to learn, because we have the professional players that come down and help the kids these kids get the opportunity to train on a pitch where they can actually see, the professionals train. So the Academy has been such a huge part of why I'm doing, the team in Miami, in all honesty, because it's always been a massive part of, what I want to give back to the sport. And it's one of the first things that I made sure that was set up in Miami. The first things that was the most important thing to me. Obviously I want to win championships, obviously we want to be successful as a club, but the Academy is something that from day one I said this is the most important thing, because we're giving these young kids the opportunity to actually play the game in a safe place, and also be coached in a sport that is the biggest and best sport in the world. So they're given the opportunity to actually have a successful career, and even if they don't go on to have successful careers in the sport, then it's a life journey. They're one of the things that was said to me as a young kid, and also pretty recently, that one of our coaches from Manchester United, it wasn't just about teaching us about the sport, it wasn't just about playing football. Actually, he was teaching us to be good human beings. And I think that that's a big part of what we do at Miami. We have young kids there that are 12, 13 years old. They arrive at training, they're all dressed how they should be. They go up to the coaches, they shake hands, they say good afternoon or good evening. And they're helping, with the coaches, whether it's picking up the balls, whether it's tidying up the field. So that is a huge part of what we do at Miami. It's not just about the football side, it's actually about, the human side as well. And that's a big part of what we do in Miami.
I'm super proud to be an ambassador for AIA and also their vitality program to really make changes in people's lives to live healthier and longer, better lives. And I think what they have in store for the people is really something that is a fun way of making sure that they stay on track with their health and wellness. So with their food, whether it's their exercise, and just keeping on track on their health is so important. And I'm so glad that I can be part of this movement to make this happen for people out there that want to feel better. And through the AIA Vitality program, I definitely see the changes that I've done as well. Because it's a lot of fun and I'm competitive, so I want to get those points and rewards for myself, and to get up in that rankings as well.
It also makes me very proud to know that I'm ambassador of AIA, and obviously the Vitality program for me is so important because I've really seen the difference that it does to people's lives, not just people that are my age, your age and older, but also for younger people, because we're trying to educate at such a young age. Even at my age and people older than us, we're still trying to educate them in a certain way. But if we can do that to young kids, if we can give them the opportunity to learn, how to look after themselves, what they need to do, go for a walk, go to the park, eat the right things, drink the right things, and those small changes, we say it all the time, and it's one of the taglines, those small changes sometimes can make the biggest difference. So, for me personally, to be an ambassador in the way that we are helping people, it means a lot to me, and it also to see the differences in people. It's quite remarkable, and it makes me feel very proud to be part of an organisation. And I say organisation, I say a partnership, but it's a family. So to be part of a family in this way, for me personally, it makes me very proud. Well, Nicole, it's gone so fast and I really hate to say goodbye, but at some point we'll be in the same room and we'll be able to do this again and again. So thank you so much. It was so lovely seeing you and so lovely seeing you all. And like I said, Nicole, thank you so much. It was so much fun talking about things that we really care about.
Thanks, David, for talking to me and also sharing your story and all that you're going towards. And to everyone here, it's been great spending this time with you and all of you out there. Hope you have a great time, and I had an absolute blast with you, David.